Now, being critical of Lori Lightfoot, like what are some of the things you feel like she's dropping the ball that you feel like you will bring to the table that's different?
Well, I think the mayor has dropped the ball since she got in. She came in and she promised so many different things. She promised to be a change representative, an outsider who was going to be a voice to outsiders. It didn't happen. She came in and started ruling with iron fists and couldn't collaborate with people. She brought in folks from all across the country to come work in Chicago and run City Hall and don't even understand the city and how government works. Or I mean, how Chicago government works and how our city. They can't even GPS. They have to GPS each and every day to get around the city.
Right.
And so she saw that there wasn't, or she felt that there wasn't enough talent here in Chicago to even bring into administration. And I think that's a large reason why our city is in shambles in all of the different departments. When it came to COVID, her responses were very harsh to residents. When it came to COVID relief dollars, she gave $280 million to the police department in overtime, spending over $2 billion a year on police since she's been mayor, and have not shown that type of investment in these communities. So essentially, she really came in office and really is Rahm 2.0. And just got in and continued the same systems. No real change, no real systemic change that we can see in these communities that we can see some tangible results. It actually has gotten worse. It's gotten to a situation where, youth when you look at the schools have gotten worse in regards to kids. You got 30 kids still in the classroom. You got lack of after-school programs. You got kids being put out left and right, going to the streets, joining other folks who relate to them when it comes to coming out of a broken household or coming out of a broken school. Then what the city do? We arrest them, we throw them in the juvie, and now Lori is talking about getting rid of electronic monitoring and get rid of bond, and she's talking about suing gangs, but she's not talking about real tangible investment so that we can change the realities of people in these neighborhoods. We could not continue to throw police money and throw more police at the problem and come out and say prosecute, prosecute, prosecute. You have to be a mayor and really understand that we're in a situation where there's been decades of disinvestment, decades of oppression, decades of systemic oppression with all of the different systems, and it's not going to change overnight. And so we got to spend years prioritizing the real problems, increasing the home ownership rate, increasing small business, the small business community throughout these neighborhoods. Increasing our investments in after-school programs, increasing our investments in mentoring programs that are attached to CPD. Instead of sending them to a record, they should be sent to a mentoring organization to help put them on the right path. We got to rebuild these neighborhoods, invest in programs that's going to help change mindsets. And then when folks come out of jail, we got to invest in programs so that they can get resources and be productive citizens instead of committing crimes again. We have to interrupt the cycle. We can't just step back and say, let's just prosecute. And that's essentially the type of leadership that she has shown.